So several words, that's nice for me to know a bit more about you. So let's continue. I'm a representative of National Geographic Learning in Ukraine, and the official representative is Linguist Company. This is the company where you can find the books directly from the National Geographic Learning publishing house. And we have different series for young learners, which are Look, Wonderful World, that are for state schools, and Our World, which doesn't have this permission from Ministry of Education, but that is a great course for teachers who prefer communicative approach, who like to talk a lot with pupils, sing songs, and so on. So, look, this is the book, and today lots of examples will be from this book. This is the brand new book for primary learners, but some teachers have already liked it and decided to use it for the next year. This is a book that has a great balance of grammar and speaking activities. You can, there is a great focus on reading skills, because students will practice phonics, some word families, and there are lots of exercises. There are a very big amount of songs and chants that you can use with your students to study grammar, to practice reading, to practice some speaking activities. And there is also one point that I like to underline, and I think that in autumn we'll have something on it. This is assessment. So you know that in your Ukrainian school it is important to have this formative assessment, the one without grades in the first two grades, yeah. The one with that doesn't have any sticker, something like that, but still we need to feel to see how our students progress during the study. So this book is full of good recommendations for teachers, how to observe their students, how to understand, how to check what they know. And it gives also ideas how to prepare our young learners not to be afraid of grades, not to be afraid of being assessed, not to be afraid of making mistakes. So I see that people are still joining in, so welcome everyone, and we are starting. Do we need fun? Oops, I'm afraid I've got some problems with my throat today, but I hope that everything will be fine. Do we need fun in the lesson? There are some characteristics of children, of those who sit in front of the behind the desks, and these characteristics usually explain us why we need fun. Children are energetic and physically active, right? It's very difficult to make them sit. They will maybe swing in the chair. They will do something with their hands. If it's just lesson when they need to sit and to listen to the teacher. So that's why it's better to use this characteristic in our favor, to ask them to stand up, to maybe to stretch their hands, to touch something, to jump, to sit down, then sit down again, and so on and so forth. Also, it will bring a bit of fun, and it will help help children to be more concentrated. Children learn by doing, and actually lots of people do that, right? You can listen for hundreds of webinars, but once you practice and you use all those activities that you have listened to in your lessons, you will understand why they can work, why they can make teaching process better, or maybe you will understand if they don't work for you. The same is with children. We can ask them to do lots of maybe repetitions, lots of some simple tasks, but they won't use the language until they actually will be forced to do it. And one of the best ways to do it is with the game, because this is the natural activity for students, for young children. They have all these games outside the school, right? They have these role-playing games, they like some sporty games. That's why we also use it with the students to engage them. Fun is the best motivation of doing this or that, Olga. That's right. You can turn every boring task into a great activity if you add some fun, if you add maybe some competition in it, or if you turn an intrigue, you turn an exercise into a story, or you make it like a quest, right? So those who complete all exercises will get the key to something, right? Anything. And by the way, last year, I think there were some webinars about fun with listening. So we were discussing that. Children are imaginative. Again, they can imagine anything, like they're aliens, like they are kings and queens, like they are their favorite characters, anything. And when we tell stories, when we sing songs, when we show them bright pictures, we help them. We talk to them in their own language, right? So for them, like to pretend that they are not, I don't know what about your classes, but I remember it very well. Like in my primary classes, there were lots of girls. I'm not sure about boys, but mostly girls who from time to time pretended they are animals in their break time. So they were playing like a big animal family. Probably it's from some cartoon, I'm not sure, but anyway, so they, and if you do the same in the lesson, if you, let's pretend that we are now I don't know, traveling in the plane, or we are not children but tiger cubs in the forest or something like that, right? They will play with you, and you will be that will on the same wavelength with them. Games make lessons fun and interesting, right? And also one and very important thing is that children, and again, it's not only children, everyone, I have been working with adults, the same thing, and I am studying like this, they will remember something that brings them emotions. So you can say some rules for lots of the times, you can read, you can do exercises, that is also very effective. But when they come out of the classroom and they come home, they will tell their parents something that was really great in an emotional sense, right? I still remember the lesson in the 3rd grade when we had English lesson, when we had to bring our dolls. Can you imagine that? It was long time ago. The game in the lessons was something like nonsense. And we had to bring our dolls and these special dolls, cups, plates, food. Actually, our teacher or boys probably brought food, and we had the real tea party with our dolls and our toys, and it really made the lesson interesting. And I think that I remember lots of food vocabulary since that lesson when I was only 9, and I still remember it the same. So when you have something unexpected, surprised, something funny, when you ask your children, maybe surprise them. Once I surprised children by just rearranging the desks, and that several lessons were like the best, because for them everything was very new, and they were more concentrated, more interested. And of course, when they know that, okay, we're going to the lesson which has some fun, that will be they will be more motivated to come and to sit you. right? They will come back to you and show you something, and you can use this in order to turn their fun into the lesson. But of course, each fun should be educational fun, right? We can laugh, we can run, we can smile, but if it doesn't bring anything from teaching, it's just not a lesson. It's just like a camp, maybe after school club or something like that. But we want our students to be to learn something, right? So we need to follow some rules and to turn everything into fun, into educational fun, I would say. We will talk about it today as well. And also, by the way, this is a book from Luke 2, level 2, and each photo in the teacher's book has some description. And here we have wonderful description that proves our point today. You can read it. I'm really glad to see all your comments in our chat, that you agree with me, that you say that I'm right, that it's really like that. So you can see that there is something right, something obvious, that children, for example, in science, children go outside and study trees or plants. Children can count fallen leaves in math. They draw and paint outside in art. Outdoor activities are fun, and they also relieve stress, improve children's moods, and increase their motivations in independence in all aspects of their life. That's right. That's actually what games do. Songs. Why songs? Why we all love songs? So I will probably repeat something that you already know, but anyway, it's sometimes repetitions, it's what we need. So songs have these repetitive lines that will help to memorize the structures much better. They have rhythm, and children are very responsive to rhythm. Just try once, read them a poem. It could be like a long poem or a story in the form of poem, and your students will be much more focused just because they have this rhythm. And it's very natural, and we can use it. Language patterns. Songs give us great patterns that the textbooks won't give us. Something that they can use while communicating, while playing games, maybe. I'm talking about the last one is probably about more native songs, not from the textbooks, but something like super simple songs or your favorite YouTube channel songs. Right? That's why don't omit this, use this opportunity. As for me, I'm not a good singer, so for me, singing with children is always a challenge. Of course, they're small, they won't understand that their teacher is not a singer, but anyway, it was not my cup of tea. But we sang songs together. Maybe they sang a bit more. They will listen to the speaker more than to the teacher. And also I used songs to teach them speaking, writing, listening activities and reading activities. And today I want to share with you how to do that. But first, again, very, very quick poll. When do you use songs? It's just for, again, just for me to find out more, to manage your classroom. Sometimes it can be like to start the lesson, to finish the lesson, to have some activity like in the middle of the lesson, to present the language. So choose one, your favorite, the most popular reason. To revise language, so at the end of the unit, or to present language in the beginning of the unit, just for fun. Sometimes we need that, actually. And once my students, they had a bit older students, not first graders, they had this classroom management thing. So we had a set of rules for each rule breaking of the rules. They have a tick, and student with less ticks, or the group with less ticks, it's even better to make it like a group activity when you have more students. So they were able to choose any song to listen at the end of the class. So it was just 2 minutes, and it really worked. But then, of course, we had to change. So I can see that 40% of you use songs to present the language. Great. I like this idea very much. Next, this is revise the language, about 30%. And 20% of teachers use it to manage their classrooms. Of course, all variants, but I'm sure about, I'm asking like to choose one, the best reason. Of course, we can use it not just for one thing. And just for fun is about 12% I'm seeing right now. Okay, so to present the language and to revise the language are the most popular reasons, and actually that is what coincides with my point as well. But also, these classroom things are a great way. And if you haven't done it, try. Just you need to have some songs that you will constantly use in the beginning and in the end of the class, or maybe to switch off, or while they are writing, and they will I'm sorry, just sometimes start to read the chat, and that's why I start to to forget my point. So try. You need to have only one song, and you do it every lesson. And children, they are very good. They respond very great for the routine tasks. They feel safer. They know that when I hear this song, it means that. When I hear that song, it means that we need, for example, to take out our copybooks or something like that, or to stand up and to make a circle. And that's very great. But of course, with the young learners, let's listen to the song. So we are talking about grammar presentation and about grammar vocabulary presentation or revision. It can be done in both ways, with maybe some different tasks for the students, but the task for you will be to listen to the song, and I hope you will be able to listen to it. You just need to listen and to tell me what grammar and what vocabulary can be revised with the help of this song.
Track 27, Unit 2, Lesson 5, Song. Exercise 1. Listen and read.
Let's play bat and ball. Is this your ball?
No, it isn't. My ball is red and blue.
Is this your ball?
Yes, it is. I can play with you.
Let's play bat and ball. Is this your bat?
No, it isn't. My bat is white and blue.
Is this your bat?
Yes, it is. I can play with you.
Let's play bat and ball.
Okay, thanks a lot for your ideas. That's right. These are, I'm sorry. Something to ask is this. So this is the song for the first graders. So they ask, is this your, right? And yes, it is. It's black and white. So they revise this verb to be. It's not the first unit, so they, of course, studied asking questions, answering questions. And the topic is ball, yeah, doll, bat. So something about toys or sport. I think it is sport. It is toys, actually. Great. Yes, and this is mostly for practicing grammar. And I am sure that after listening this song for several times, you will sing it in your head. So it's very catchy. And that's important when you choose the songs, to choose some catchy phrases. And that's great that this very song had this like a form of a dialogue. Is this your ball? Yes, it is. It's black and blue. Can I play with you? So it can be even like a dialogue at the end of the song. Sometimes teacher tell that what to do with the songs. They don't want to sing. They don't remember the lyrics. They don't. So how can we help them? They want to remember the song. And of course, there are children that can remember, who can remember the song from the first or second listening, and those like me who won't remember it by the end of the class. But anyway, you can help them. And listening to songs help not only to produce speaking skills, but also to develop listening skills. Because English, this is a rhythmic language, and there are lots of things that are swallowed by speakers. And if we want our students to understand native speakers, not just very short and nice speech like in the textbooks, it's a great way. So we can help them to, there are really lots of things, but the main thing was to practice, is this your? Yes, it is. No, it isn't. Thing. So while we are listening to the song, and it's better to be prepared before, they can use clap, like, is this your ball? Yes, it is. Can I play with you? Right? So they will do that. After that, again, they can listen and they can just hum the tune, like, right? So for them to get used to the rhythm of the tune, because something like that. You can add actions, like if we will look at it a bit later. First, or focus on the most memorable lines. Maybe they can just ask, you can show the ball, show the bat, because it's like from the baseball game. So, and they will ask, is this your ball? And after that, they just need to hum their answer. Then again, is this your ball? So this is repetitive line, and for them it's much easier to get it and to repeat it. Right? So can I play with you? Right? So they can use gestures as well. You can then you can add some more, so they can say, no, it isn't, yes, it is. And those very like, can I play with you, can be also repetitive. And those with colors, of course, it's the last part. So let's look at this nice nice song. Let's play bat and ball. And the teacher's book, by the way, it's not me, it's teacher's book who creates for you all the gestures that you can use. And that's wonderful. So you use like make a bat and a ball action. So this is a baseball. Of course, you can show them the picture of baseball, and the book has it. Is this your ball? Right? No, it isn't. Or like, no, it isn't. Yeah, my ball is black and blue, red and blue. You can show them colors, right? You can put the colors on the board, and it will be helpful. So yes, this is the one. again, they can use ball for this, right? And so on, so forth. So when they ask, is this your bet? They make this betting action, right? So they listen and they repeat, right? So use lots of gestures when you want students, and that is a great activity because they will listen, they will act. Some students need this movement for fun, and some needs this movement for studying, like kinesthetic learners. And for them, it will be a great help. And lots of children are kinesthetic learners, most of them, I would say. Also, let's have a look here. The song itself in the book is written in different colors, right? So you can focus your students. Of course, they are first graders, they can't read. But anyway, you can ask them, okay, green, purple, where is the question? Green, yeah, let's practice. So sing only green lines, right? Is this your? You can ask them maybe to circle this, is this thing, right? Just to, okay, let's find all, you write on the board, is this your, right? Please find and circle. How many circles do you have? Okay, ball, bat. Let's listen and sing, and so on and so forth. When they are familiar with the song, when they work through the song, and the book gives lots of ideas what to do, how to teach them to read this song. You can ask them to read, to color the colors. So please take red pencil, blue pencil, white, okay, just a pencil, right? And again, blue pencil, color the color words. Draw a ball next to the ball, draw a bat next to the bat or above the bat. And you do it together with them on the board, maybe. And so on. So you work with this song, you teach them to read this song, then they can, like, you can split the class into groups and they will sing it with you. Like group A, you are a green group and purple group, sing. Now let's switch roles, so on and so forth. But that's not all. Now, songs are great source. You can use them as the texts for reading. I have just given you one idea what to do with these words in the song. This, in my experience, it really helped to build this reading fluency thing. When you focus on the whole words, when you focus them on the words in the text, you help students to develop this ability to become fluent readers. They maybe don't know all the letters, they don't know all the rules, but they will just, from every time when you do these activities, they will just look and say approach, right? When you see the word and without reading each letter, you can understand what this word is. This is how you do it. And when it is the song, when they can listen to the music, it's fun, it's energetic, they will be doing that. And then you can just maybe have cards and check. Okay, so I can prepare toys and colors, I think. Cards like ball, bat, red, blue, white, blue. I can, after they work with the text, I can show them the cards and ask, okay, so what card is it? And together they will practice reading, and it becomes in the form of a game, right? And the book suggests so what to do with the song. It's great when you not just sing song, but take the most of it. It can be writing, can be reading, and also this can be an activity which teacher's book suggests. Students choose a toy. So you come back to lesson 1 when there is a toy, and they need to ask and answer the same question. Is this your kite? Is this your doll? Is this your anything? They can color it. They can color, draw and color them, and then they can prepare these verses. And for advanced students, for fast finishers, it can be even like next to the picture, write down this song, but about your, right? This is a great project, and all you need is just one song, one audio script, pencils, and piece of paper. That's all. And your students will practice reading, writing. They will be engaged, and you will develop their listening skills very much. So do not lose this opportunity to use songs and to take most of them. This is my recommendation. Instead of lots of additional activities, it's much better to build every activities around one main and develop things. What else? So I just brainstormed ideas, and if you have any other ideas what to do with this very song, please write in the chat, and I will be happy to read them. So read and draw a comic strip. Right? It could be set as a homework, a creative homework. They don't have homework at the first grade, of course, but maybe they will want to do that. Who knows? Probably it's like just drawing activities. Or they can do it, of course, while listening to the song very, very quickly, or just very small. Circle colors, I was talking about that. Look at the gestures and recall the lines, right? So I just show to you like this, yeah? And they recall, okay, is this your ball? Yeah, then can I play with you? Then no, it isn't, right? So they just need to remember in the jumble option, turn the sound on and off while learners are singing. This is one of my favorite activities. So what you do, the song plays, but you will mute and unmute the song. So they follow the lines. You can do it when students more or less know the song. You can, so for the songs goes like, is this your ball? No, it isn't. Then you unmute, but students continue to sing, right? Or they can, again, you can manage it. So when you turn it on, they sing it together. When you mute the song, they start just humming. Then again, you turn it off, on, unmute, and they continue singing. So it's great activity to manage them, to keep them concentrated, and to help them develop this fluency, right? Change pronouns, verbs. Is this his ball? Is this her bat? My or her bat is black and blue. Doesn't matter. So you just, of course, it's not for first graders. This is maybe for a bit older students, or maybe your first graders already know this topic. But you can use it with any other song. Just play with the lyrics. Find sounds the, right? And again, color. In my children used to, it was, they could do it. It was allowed to draw in the books in the school where I used to work. That's why I use it very often. So we colored all the texts, especially for first graders, were colored. They draw pictures, they label pictures, so I use it a lot. And it was fun for them, and they, without noticing that, they were able to read and to write by the end of the first term. Not, of course, fluently, but that was a very good step forward. More reading fun. Look at this. Look at this word cloud. Don't pay attention to the colors. Just read and find rhyming words. Write down pairs. Of course, you don't need to write, but if some of you decide to write down. Okay, thank you very much for all the comments. I'm really happy that I helped you and probably inspired you. Thanks a lot for your warm words. For door, thanks, Valentina. Fred, bread, yeah. You see the spelling is different, but we read it the same. So again, this is probably from the third or from the second level. So your students already know some of the verbs, some of the reading rules, and they can do it. Late 8, 8 late. Yeah, good ideas. Great. Of course, if your students are not very fluent and not proficient at this, you can first read all together, like Fred, 8, homework, clock, 4, bread, late, door, right? And after that, they will look at these words and they will need to find rhyming words. What you need to do next? Then you check together, so everyone has the same. If they don't, they can correct themselves. Then they check in pairs. This is a great idea just for practicing speaking or maybe to develop listening skills. So student A say like Fred, student B say 8. Homework, clock, 4, door, bread, Fred. Then they switch roles, yeah, like this. Then they listen to the song and they check, were they correct actually, right? Or maybe you can switch last 2 exercises, right? It's up to you. 1 run. Oh, great, thank you. So let's listen to this song just because it's very nice, I think. And check. Oh.
Track 93.
Exercise 2.
Listen and sing.
What time do you get up? Is it early or late? What time do you get up? At 7 or 8? In the morning I get up at 7 o'clock. I have a bath and get dressed quick. I have my breakfast, fruit and bread. I say goodbye to my teddy bear Fred. What time do you get home? When do you walk in the door? What time do you get home? At 3 or 4? In the afternoon I get home at 4 o'clock. I have a snack and do my homework. I have my dinner, then off to bed. I say goodnight to my teddy bear Fred.
Great, right? So this song is very...
93.
Sorry. Will it be the neck every time? So this song is great and it really helps students to become familiar or to practice these things, right? And the follow-up activity, put the activities in order. You can see it in the picture, right? So this is a great opportunity to check their comprehension. And yeah, this one is really catchy and I like it very much. What time do you get up? At 7 or 8, right? And then they can make these conversations together. They can maybe, you can even use it for a bit more interesting activities, maybe with not so big groups, but they can use this. What time do you get up? And make a line from the students who get up. The earlier, the later, right? So they can do it like this. But it can be, of course, a follow-up activity if you have it some time. Again, you can ask students to create their own movements, to read and create their own movements, then present. So it's like a dance, but they will read. Can you imagine? They will read so many times in order to present this perfect show for you. Right? Again, they will be more familiar. It will be easier for them to find these rhyming things to read. Ask students to rewrite the 2 first lines of the green section. Again, that is great that all songs have different colors, so it really helps to manage students. For extra challenge, ask them to rewrite the whole green section to reflect what they do every day. I have a bath, I get dressed quick, have my breakfast, fruit and bread. I say goodbye to my teddy bear Fred. You can ask them for support. You can ask write down verbs, maybe or phrases that he may use. And as for me, my students would get this homework to read the song again and to draw a comic according to it. Yeah, something like that. Chants. Chants also a great way, and this is not the song, this is like a rhyming poem, right? That helps us to practice different things, and with little children it works very nicely. Here we have grammar structure. There's a street in the town. Let's listen to it. I think it's much better than I would do that.
Track 103. Unit 7. Lesson 2. Grammar. Exercise 1. Listen and chant.
There's a street in the town. There's a shop in the street. There's a girl in the shop. There's a shop in the street. There's a street in the town.
So that was the chant, and
103.
And what I like about this chant is that it sounds not very childish. Our children nowadays, they prefer to act like adults, right? And of course, everything is quite childish here, but the rhythm, those interesting instruments, make it a bit more like something kind of a rap for them, right? So when you hear the chant, it's very important to use these clapping things. They can clap and tap them, or it's better, yeah, on the laps, not on the desk, because it's going to be a mess. Yes, perfect drill for young learners. Yes, that's right. So what you can do? Okay, what you can do, this is to, so this is a chant to present the grammar structure, theirs. Before that, in the previous lesson, students have studied the words. So what they did, they need to listen and to choose words that they heard, like street, shop, and that's only 2 words. When they listen, again, you can ask them to clap, like there's a street in the town. There is a shop in the street. And there was some like gaps without lines, so students were able to repeat when they know the words. What you do next? Then you can copy it before the lesson on the board. You put these 5 numbers and you say, yeah, great idea to use them, to use these chants with kids as many times as possible. And you start focusing students on some things for them to understand, maybe the structure, to practice reading skills. So you say, look at number 1 and 2. Are they same or different? A street, a shop, a shop. No. Look at number 2 and 3. A shop, a girl, a girl. No. Now look at number 2 and 4. Are they same or different? Oh, they are different. Color them pink. Find more similar lines. Color them green. for example, right? So they can use these highlighters and color the structure of the song, right? Then they can, again, chant it very lots of the times, but of course they can chant without this, and it's important for them to speak it as much as possible. They can chant it like happily, sadly, like they are tired, like they have vacation, like they are animals, anything, right? So you can ask them. They can create their own stories, but also it's a great way to use this text and to use these words to practice students' other skills together with just chanting, right? So they prepare their own chants. I think they will use this theirs, but talk about their maybe their house or their street. Yeah, so think about where you live. You can do it together with your school. So, for example, there is a park in the street. There is a playground in the park. There is a boy in the playground. Yeah. And then you ask students, so now please write about your street. You start like there's a street in a town, but what is in your street? Is it a park? Is it a swimming pool? Is it a shop? Right? So, and students will write down, practice writing, reading and talking. Ludmila Cherepanova, I like your comment. Yes, this song is easy for singing and moving. Sometimes books propose songs which are very hard to sing and move. Yes, they are, but I think that they do it for some reason. And this is a bit different reason. Maybe it's just, it really helps to develop listening skills. So if for your students and for you, like for me, it is difficult to sing, you can use it like listening activity. So listen and color. Listen, read, maybe read and draw pictures or color some words or change the lines. So you can use these songs like texts in order not to spoil them, because they really give great language anyway. And one more, so if we're talking about songs, so here is, for example, a song for present simple, one of the most difficult topic for primary students, I think. Again, here you can find farmer, his name is Zaid, he doesn't grow apples. Zaid, I think he grows olives instead, yeah, so that instead. Marisol goal, yeah, and here they have different these ideas how to use positive and negative forms, like formative and negative forms of present simple. After that, students they do some activities like builder builds houses, teacher teaches in the school, and then they create their songs. Again, their songs based on this, using the same language. That's why I like these grammar songs very much. They, without any explanations, and this is how children study. That's how they study their native language. They hear, they repeat. And with these chants and songs, we just reinforce them. It's very difficult to have so much environment in English for our students, but with these fun songs and chants, they can hear it more often and like within one lesson. So one piece of language, but they will listen to it very lots of the time. Then they can create something and use it in order to make their own language output. Games. What games do you play with your students? I believe that there are different games, like active games, maybe activities, something like that. But I like board games very much. And one of the most problems that okay, I like games, but it's a total mess. My students speak Ukrainian only. They don't listen to me. We have very big class. We don't know what to do with that. I totally agreed. For what great is this book? I have got examples from different levels, but they are from the first up to the fourth grade. So what to do when you have students like that? For example, so let's look at some typical mistakes. A teacher handed out the game that started to explain the rules. What is the mistake here? A running dictation. Yeah, that's great. I like it very much. My students loved it very much as well. Bingo, board games. Yeah, bingo, also perfect. So what is the teacher's mistake here? First the rules, then the game. You start explaining the rules, you show them, then you invite students to demonstrate. You write down some useful language on the wall, and only after that you ask students to open the books, you hand out them these games, so they need to be concentrated while listening. Once you hand out them the game, lesson stops. But if they had great instructions before, it will help them to use this game as you want. Teacher explains the rules and asks, do you understand? Beginning with group of words, then stories. Of course, yes, that's right. Here we have like talk about you, where's the skateboard, where is the bike? So they just need to describe the picture, right? So the teacher says the rule. So you have a coin, you flip the coin, head you move 1, tail you move 2 spaces, answer the questions. The first who reaches the back is the winner. Great explanations, probably. Maybe it was done in native language, doesn't matter in this very place. But then the teacher asks, do you understand the rules? Yes, answers the children, and what happens? And then they start playing the game, and it's a total mess. They speak only Ukrainian. I don't want to play games anymore with my children, right? These are some typical mistakes that I was seeing while observing the lessons, and some of which I encountered when I started to work, when I was working with children. Again, with children, we need to ask some instruction checking questions. Okay, when do you move 1 space? When do you move 2 spaces? It really needs, with adults and with children, it's like a must, because it's very difficult to understand just from one listening, especially if it is a foreign language. Who starts? So you nominate, you say students A, B, C. A, you start. A is raise your hand, then B is raise your hand. Do you answer the questions or do you ask the questions? Do you move, right? Do you speak Ukrainian? You can give the rule. So if I hear Ukrainian words, it means, so you stop playing for 20 seconds. That's all, right? Something like that. If you have very big classes, what to do with board games like this? You just split them into teams, right? And they will, in their teams, they will be like one big player. Team A, Team B, Team C. And they follow in their books, right? But you work all together. You can copy it on the board. You can use your book. So different ideas. And teacher's book have very, Who Am I, also great game. Teacher's book have very, you can see that it has very like step-by-step instructions what to do. So for teachers who think that games is a mess, maybe your colleagues say to you something like that, oh, I never play games, they are horrible, children can't behave. Just know that sometimes teacher's book have these great explanations, and this one for look, it has. So it gives, with blue, it says what you need to say, what you need to ask your students. how do you need to demonstrate it? How you monitor it? And so you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and only 7th step is ask students to play in pairs. So you see, it's not just hand out. So you need to prepare it. You need to spend time. You ask your students. You have this conversation. You check their understanding. You present it with maybe 2 students. Right? You set the rules. You put down useful language on the board. Ask your students, what language do you need? How to say, whose turn is it, right? Or maybe you can just write down words and turn, move, and what questions can we make from these words, right? And the last mistake, teacher sees lots of mess and stops the game. This class won't play games for a long time. It's better to keep everything positive, right? Students feel very much when teacher becomes stressed and nervous, and they will use it, and not in your favor. They will use it in their favor. They will try to make you angry more and more. That's why even if game becomes a total mess, let it go. Spend these several minutes. They will finish. Then you can maybe before game, of course, it's important to set the time limits, right? So you have 5 minutes. When you hear the sound, you stop, something like that. And it works when they have instructions before they got the game. So even if something went wrong, you just wait. You just find some positive way to finish it. So you play the song, something like that. After that, you sit down, you analyze, you think what instructions can be done, how to check their understanding. Do I maybe practice with your colleague doing these instructions? And then again, use it. So it's a great way to challenge us as teachers and to have this and to have this fun in your lesson. So I hope that your idea, that you got some really useful ideas. I have put the link so you can check this book. You can see that Luke has about 4 games, and it has a song for each unit, like 12 songs, 4 games. And everything that teachers need, like counter, dice, this wheel, are in the teacher's resources. Games must be changed quickly, right? So you set the time. It's better to use it before the game. You can practice language. You can give lots of effort to revise the language. But when they play the language, it will be play the game. It will be just very quick review, and of course, every time set the time limits. So again, all the examples were taken from the Look, our new primary series textbook, which corresponds the Ukrainian program for English teachers. You have games, you have chants, you have plays, you have videos, you have different types of readings, lots of new words, lots of opportunities to speak, and workbook gives lots of opportunities to practice the language. Teachers who have already viewed these books, they paid really good, lots of attention to the workbooks, and they like those exercises. There were comments like, okay, I usually look for these exercises on the internet, and here in your workbook you have this, like not only fill in the gaps, but maybe rearrange the letters, make a sentence out of words, answer the questions, draw something, revise something, everything. So if you're looking for a fresh for something fresh to work with your students, I recommend you to look at this book, check it, and you can contact your representatives in Linguist, where I have this Look links. There are contact details. If you haven't worked with a linguist before, you can, of course, do it. So, certificates. This is the procedure. In 1 hour, you will get a thank you email. In this thank you email, you will see the link address, like click this link. Then you complete the form, you send this form. Then next week, we'll give you about 2-3 days, so up to Monday. You will have time to complete the form with all your details. And we will send you the certificate next week. So please be patient and wait for it. I'd like... Oh, thank you very much for your nice comments. I hope to see you all next month. I think that it's going to be in the beginning of July. And if you haven't done it yet, find us on Facebook, follow us. We try to share lots of interesting ideas and give you explanations about our series and give some inspirations for the teachers. So thanks a lot. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to write them to me, or maybe you can contact me and and we'll be happy to consult you. So, as far as I can see, there are no questions, just kind words, which I'm really thankful for. In this case, I think that I will finish this webinar. So please take care, enjoy the summer, never don't mind the weather, just accept it and have great rest. And I wish you all to make something very unusual this summer. And of course, then come back to your classes full of inspiration, energy, and maybe in the first lesson, you will use some of the ideas. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.